Ba-da-da-dum, bum, 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 bum. Ba-da-da-dum, bum, 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 bum. Ba-da-da-dum, bum, 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 bum. Ba-da-da-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da. Yeah, imagine if somebody showed up in the middle of this. I know I'm live. I pressed the button. I know what I did. Welcome to the pre-show, everybody, where I am cleaning up and getting ready for our live stream, which will be beginning momentarily. Just give me a minute or so, and I will be right with you. Should do like a... Imagine if I did a comment or something like hashtag pre-stream. Even though it's technically in the live stream, it's not going to be edited out or anything. It's just, hey, it's on. If you want to show up early and say first in the comments, now you can. Nobody does that. It's fine. That doesn't happen. Oh, I swear I saw a comment. I was like, whoa! Slow down, mister. I lost my train of thought. I was humming Mario because, of course, it's a Mario-related stream. And I will explain that in just a bit. Little moment. Ooh. Hey. Yeah, let's put it in there. I'm currently sorting Lego parts. Hashtag forever sorting. A whole bunch of them that I got long time ago from... And not long time ago, like years and years ago. I mean, like, probably last year. I got a whole lot of Lego parts from Lego user groups, and I'm just trying to sort out the basic ones, which I know where they go. Got a thing that I did a while ago about that, where it's like, oh, I have a bin of these parts, like slopes, things related to slopes, curves, whatever's. I got a bin of 1 by bricks and then 2 by bricks underneath it. So those at minimum I'm trying to sort out, and then the rest of it I'll dump into another bin to be sorted later. Make it nice and easy. Ooh, and there's also some parts that I'm like, ooh, I want that. I want to use that. A whole lot of these are actually just interesting shapes and things, and I keep thinking, oh, now I have a whole bunch of them. I should probably do something with that. Like, they can make some cool stuff. I don't know what I'm going to make yet, but it's there. It should be a saxophone version, like a very jazzy saxophone version of Dire Dogs. That would be amazing. Like that New York sax. You know what I mean? The kind of sax that just wails and wails. And you feel like you're in the big city, like New York City. That's why I call it the New York sax. You'll get all kinds of conversations here in the pre-show, and maybe in the actual pre-stream, and maybe in the actual stream. Who knows? Who knows, but kudos. It's a stream of consciousness. It's another tile. I need that. Oh, I like that panel. I like the panel. You like to panel. This almost looks like a sad scene because there's so much of this air. All right, let's get this on the way. Oh, that's a lot of crystals. I'm going to keep those. Bulk parts. Unfortunately, there's a treasure chest without a top to it, but I could still use that. Torch, okay. All right. Ooh, Technic. I'm not a big fan of I'm not a big fan of Technic. Some of you might know, but that Technic piece was pretty cool. It was a bar element, the kind that you could bend and sometimes snip and make into other things. Almost hydraulic. I don't know if it is the hydraulic kind though. Might be. No, maybe. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not that good with Technic, people. Yeah, I'm gonna do that part later. Let's close those up, and I'm just gonna sort some of these later. It's not too hard, not too bad. For the Nerf acquainted fans in my audience, not fans of me, but fans of Nerf, I found two copies of vintage Nerf ball blasters in someone's bulk pickup today. It's pretty good. They work. They were a little bit worn. Like they had some what's the word? They had just a little bit of, the plastic itself bending or breaking, but it still worked. I tried them several times, and I was like, this is amazing. It's great. All right, couple more pieces there. Where do we go? Here do we go? Oh, we need that tile. I gotta have my tiles. Gotta have my tiles. I'll put these into the bin. I can't tell you how many of these I have. I actually should do a contest or something. I should count them myself and then do a contest to guess how many of these I have. I need to get a container to put them all in, first of all, to get a rough idea how much of a container this all could take up. There's too many, you would say. Or a really good challenge for a mock. I've always considered that a challenge. Of 2x2 pearl gold tiles, smooth edge or whatever it's called. Some of you have an idea. They've been around long enough. You've seen them up there. Some of you wouldn't even imagine that many in the world. Maybe. You wouldn't imagine that many from one Lego fan that's not even building anything right now in gold. It's like I feel like I'd make either a globe out of them or like a King Midas throne room or something, and everything's plated with it. I should build a trophy out of them. That's that's the best. I've had them for a while, and I only just came up with that now. I am on a roll. I love it. Oh, I forgot about these. Another part. I don't know what else to call it. Whole bunch of purple drawers and blue bushes, like the car wash. Brushes, not bushes. Not the same thing. Pretty sure it's on. And a Technic shock spring. That's cool. Hola to the first viewer. Just right on time for the main attraction. Because today, a lot of Lego Super Mario has been unveiled. There have been review copies that were sent out, very standard kind of thing. And now they're able to be published, reviewed by astute members. Is it astute? All right. Well, with the one person here, they might not mind the bloopers, depending on who the one person is. Okay, that's definitely not the right word. It's not entirely the wrong word, but it doesn't fit what I was thinking of. Oh, I think I know what the word I was thinking of is. Ah, there we go. Yeah. We got it. All right, so redo. The stream starts at 10 minutes or 9:52. Hello, everybody. This is Maniac 4 Bricks. And as many of you know, all throughout the community, there's been good word about the Lego Super Mario sets not only being unveiled as reviews. You know, a lot of esteemed members of the community have received copies of them in advance of their public release, of their sale, and have been able to experiment with them. But also, many more have been revealed, brand new ones we've never seen before. The talk of the town right now. And while I haven't gone through every single one of them yet, maybe we will in this stream, who knows how everything plays out. While I haven't gone through every single one of them yet, I am excited for them, and I've been saving up something for quite a while. Some of you may have actually seen it a couple months ago when the sets were first announced that there was going to be Lego Super Mario. But then there's something very special I wanted to pick up, and I mentioned it on my video. I don't know yet if anyone else has mentioned it or even cares, but I'm the kind of guy who cares because it's good to know a little bit more outside of just the sphere of the Lego brand. Bird Bricks, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. We've also got a Dead Bricks in here. Semi-excited for the Super Mario sets. I just wish they were minifigures. We all are waiting on the minifigures, but this is a wave that Lego and Nintendo have agreed to publish through first. Lego Super Mario, I've seen that a lot, and I kind of agree with it, but I am trying to justify it a bit over time because they have a high price, because Nintendo is a very iconic product, brand, and many of their products are made to good quality. When they partner with somebody, they mean it. They do well. And they want their property to be respected very well. But more importantly, a lot of the elements that you see in those sets are brand spanking new for Lego, brand new molds. Things that fit within the Mario aesthetic or combining between the Mario and Lego aesthetic. You also have a new electronic system. So many parts that were not only for the plastic itself, but also for the technology to enhance the experience and to create basically a board game, but electronically. And then you also have a lot of elements that are printed. I've only seen one or two reviews on them, thanks to Bricks O'Brien and Beyond the Brick. I've only seen one or two of them that have, a fair in-depth analysis, but I haven't heard anything in those videos about anything being stickered. A lot of it seems to be printed, and it would make sense that it was printed because of the electronics. Something like that needs to be of good quality in order to be read on the device, and would also have to be long-lasting. If you had it as a sticker and it got smudged, or the sticker got peeled or folded or what have you, damaged over time, that would be a problem. That would be hard to play the game, even if it was something brand new. I have extensive history when it comes to Lego games. I have like a shelf or two of board games, the classic kinds. And then I've got some from the 2010 era of Lego games made in-house. There are also ones after that. I would closely associate this with Lego Fusion, because this one also has something that is electronic and physical at the same time, adapting between the two. Hopefully that's enough time where Bird Bricks was able to head out and then come back quickly, because I am liable to make a tangent. That's the nature of the game. Speaking of game, let's get on to our subject for today. Well, actually, two subjects. We're going to start things off. You dig? I did not wear the green shirt intentionally. That was a good coincidence, though. But hey, I will embrace it. All I need is a pair of jean overalls, suspenders, whatever. Complete the look. Or we get very close to complete the look. I think, what is it? No, wait. Yeah, I would still need gloves and actually a long sleeve shirt instead of a short sleeve. Listen, I know that Mario is the main man. Why has Luigi never been with a short sleeve shirt? Like Mario in Super Mario Sunshine? Short sleeves. Luigi? I've never heard of a short sleeve Luigi. Hashtag short sleeve Luigi. Make it happen. We need a second year of Luigi. Because I underestimated the first one. I loved it, but I have not picked up a lot from it. The first thing I want to mention in our stream is a package that I got in the mail. Just by coincidence today. And something that I'm actually pretty excited about. And may or may not appear in the future. Let's see. So you guys will get to see 3 mystery packages, all from the same place. I'll talk about the place just after I open them up. Oh yeah, that's it. Wait. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna open them up first. And I'll take that out to the trash later. Because we don't need that anymore. Number 2. Number 2. Wait. I feel like that wasn't supposed to be it. Who needs scissors? Okay, all right, good. Got that over there. I typed the wrong thing at first. Now we got that underway. Righty-woo. Ah, opened the wrong thing. Okay. Can you load a little faster, please? I'll worry about that later. Where is it? Where is it? Should be on here. Yeah, that didn't arrive yet. All right. It'll be it. I'll go off of what's here first. Hopefully those other things will be coming up soon. Oh, okay. So, 3 t-shirts of blue, red, and yellow. Yellow is probably the most important part because this is about Beyond the Brick from their Teespring store, from their merch store. I decided to pick up some of their wares. I always enjoyed them. I've been with them on, I think, one of their live streams in 2018, Philly Brick Fest. They had a live stream at the convention itself where they invited people up for a little bit of time, talk about what they created, what they brought to the show. I'm sure I have the timestamp somewhere, but I don't even know if the video's still public. It should be. I think so. Anywho, when I was on there, I think I was talking the entire time. Josh may have got a word in. I was nervous. I couldn't help it. I was just so excited for it because I didn't think an opportunity like that would happen for me, and I just kind of embarrassed myself. It could be fun. It could be cringy if you really wanted to. But either way, I still enjoy their videos. I still enjoy a lot of the people who've been supporting them on the videos themselves or in the chat. You know, enjoyed a lot of the streams there as well. We got 3 shirts. One of them is Beyond the Brick with the logo. It's a nice little strip, and it's in a nice blue. Unique. I don't have a blue or azure shirt like that. One that's Beyond the Brick. I don't even have to unfold it. That's great. Beyond the Brick. A little bit. Yeah, of course. But you get it. You got the idea. This one is the clean version. I forget exactly what they called them on the site, but I'm calling it the clean version. Like, You know, it's supposed to look like a completed graphic. And this one is supposed to look like a distressed vintage graphic. You might have seen in between the two a little bit of changes, like a little bit of color changes. And surprisingly, between them, I can tell them apart. But on the shirts, they feel very similar. A couple things here and there. Yeah, it might be alright. 2 different Hanes. One's tagless and one has a tag. Alright. Actually, the third one, the blue one, also had a tag too. So, on with the show. The main attraction. For those who joined me several months back on Twitch, and I believe it also got published to YouTube, and I republished it today, I picked up a Mario Lego set. It's not from Lego. There is a construction building brand from Sweden called Bigas. Maybe mispronouncing it, but that's how I'm going to go with it for now. Bigas, at the time, in the 90s, had several different licenses that Lego had not considered. Although, I find it surprising that a lot of them they would get later down the road. They had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Flintstones, and what we got for today, Super Mario. And I believe they had a fourth one, which I'll look at all of that in here. In the Super Mario Brothers game world. Go figure. It's a building toy that's a board game based on Super Mario. Sounds familiar. And it's a hunker of a box. Look at that. It's so... For those who are wondering, yeah, all the pieces are just inside of there. Shuffling around slowly. It's a chunker of a box. One of the largest boxes I believe they had for the license. Nintendo official product. If you didn't already see that. Nice and up close, right in there. International seal for the licensed product. Very nice. From 1992, I don't know by how long. I still have a lot more to learn about the Bigas brand itself. But this is big. This is awesome. And it's a surprising turn of events because Nintendo itself, before it made video games, had a library of different toys. And when they first started over 100 years ago, yes, they've been around that long. Almost longer, actually. When they first started, it was trading cards and Hanefune cards and other similar things, gambling cards and things like that. But over time, they also adapted into the toy market and created their own toys. The Ultra Hand is one of the more popular ones they knew, or that people know of. But along that time, they also had NNB building system, which was to rival Lego. It had its own style of connectable building block toys, very akin to Lego. Lego did actually go to court with them, and unlike infringing, and Nintendo won by a very a very slight margin. Bolo, welcome to the stream. How's the life? Life's alright. It's a long day, a lot of hard work, but now getting a chance to chill. So Nintendo actually won in that hearing because they had a lot more pieces that were rounded and not the exact dimensions of Lego pieces. That didn't help them, though, because you can't really build a lot of stuff when everything's a circle. Same as Lego. Can't build everything when it's a square either, but at least Lego adapted from that. Nintendo did not. Then sometime later comes up Bigas, a Swedish company, and many other building block brands were around in that time all in between. I still have a lot to learn about those, but Bigas from Sweden got the license for Super Mario. So let's get this thing cracked open. I did actually already open this. This was a sealed copy when I got it from eBay many months ago, and on that live stream I already unwrapped everything, and I built the model that's in there, and may still have to rebuild a few parts here and there, and gone through all the documentation. So, to be fair, it's not as brand new a copy as when I first got it, but it's exciting nonetheless. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, tray. Hold on. This side. There we go. Big instruction manual. Really big instruction manual. Rennie the Space Guy, welcome to the stream. Well, it's Lou. Time to step up from the actual Lego. There we go. That's why in the stream title, I put Lego in quotes. I've done that in the past when I've talked about building block brands that are either a knockoff or competitor to Lego, and I put it in quotes because it's like, it's not. People will say maybe it is if they don't have a keen eye. And I know you guys have a keen eye. All right, no problem. So yeah, big instruction manual. It's a little bit difficult. I'll actually admit, when I was trying to build this thing, took a lot to put it together. And, oh, yeah, I haven't opened this in a while. I actually forgot. Front and back. That's your instructions. That's everything for building this, as they call it, game world. Inside of there, they explain all the rules and all these different areas on how the game itself is played. And they actually do it in multiple languages. Everything in English is on this one page right here. And it's tiny. It's a lot to read. And they make a big book for it. Yeah, I can still read that. Okay, that's good. But yeah, they have this other couple languages. Let me see how far back they go with it. Yeah, I'm not even sure what half of these languages are. So, towards the back of it, they actually advertise about some of the other products that they have from Bigas as a toy company, at least for the building block brands. So as you see on here, it does mention Super Mario Brothers, and extensively. Several sets were released for it. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets. 2 of them that are tubs. 1 of them that's like a blister pack kind of thing. You have a buildable Mario right there. You have this one that's a board game. The other ones in here are not inherently board games. They're just small play sets, simple vehicles. And even just by looking at these pictures, they don't look like they're really based on anything. That might be a tree in there. That's a weird tree piece. But you get a lot of the characters in just about every one of these. Not the same exact variant, if I may. You'll see. Not the same exact variant in each of them, but enough that it works. And it's a lot of colorful pieces. It's not 100% accurate color-wise to the property, but as a building toy company, you got to throw a lot of colors in there. On the other page was a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was another license that LEGO would acquire sometime later and adapt. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, you saw that right. With all those turtles, it's the same way with Mario. You don't have an actual built figure that attaches onto the studs. It's a basically cardstock to cardboardish cutout that fits in between them with a little groove. Ingrid Wynn, welcome to the stream. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had 4 different sets. It's hard to tell from the packages, though, what those sets are supposed to be. They all look the same. They have the same background. They have the same top to it. They are not clear on that, unlike their Super Mario version. The man, the myth, legend, Kevin Hinkle. Oh, there's even more rules! They had like 2 ads, and then there's more rules in different languages. Yeah, I may or may not have prepared this for after the stream. So here you are, Peter. Why? Did you say something? Did you notice something? Yeah, wow, this is entirely a rule book and 2 ads. All right, then. So as I mentioned, and welcome to everyone who's now joining the stream. I put Lego in quotes because it's not an official Lego product. This is from a Swedish building company from the 90s called Bigas. And this is from 1992 itself. This is the Super Mario Game World. I do have parts of this to rebuild, though, unfortunately. Didn't all fit in the box kind of can't expect that. Hi, Mr. Hinkle. I'm hungry. Hope you bought a burger. Hey, share it with the class. Hope you brought everyone burgers. This is not... I don't know if I'm a teacher. So the interesting thing about this set, from what I remember when I've already... Like, this was a sealed copy. I built it before on live stream. Doc Samson. I didn't clickbait you. I made it legit because I put Lego in quotes. And you know the quotation like that is like, really? So you did a thing. If this is baiting, I don't know what is. Because I've done this 2 years ago in a ton of videos talking about other Lego knockoff and competitor brands, other building brands in general, big or small. And this one's biggest. I'm still not sure on the pronunciation. I tried looking it up. I couldn't get a clear answer. Disc flip. So the interesting thing about the set is that it has enough pieces to build the game world. A few colors here and there that were swapped around, unfortunately. Like, the number of pieces was enough, but the colors, the exact ones, were not enough, from what I remember. And it gives you tons of extra pieces. This whole bag I opened up, and I didn't even need this. Hashtag you got this. These are all wheels. And not even wheels that fit with anything. They're tires. They're too big. They don't fit on the wheels that are in here. Do they fit with the... I hope the other ones do. There's smaller ones. They have wheel bearings or some kind of... It's just 2 pieces. I thought there was something special there. There's something almost special. Wait. Okay, then. Yeah, so while I have actually opened this up and built it before on live stream, I have not experienced every little aspect of it. Enchiladas. Nice choice. That doesn't seem right. That boy ain't right. Let's try this. Oh, there we go. And thick rubber tires. There we go. We do have wheels, we do have tires, and they do come together, and they make a thing. No, I have no idea where I'm going with this. If you guys have any questions, I'm also wearing a... I know! I was there. And Nick was wearing one. And Sans was spelling out Brick Fair. If you guys have any questions right off the bat, let me know about Biggest Game World. I'm going to keep the camera facing this way because you've seen enough of my ugly mug, and I'm going to keep going through everything else in here. I may have to build some of this again, though, because it didn't fit in the box. And there are a lot of interesting pieces. Yes, we already did. Now we addressed it in 2 streams. There's a lot of interesting pieces in here, and they definitely give you theoretically more than what you need or what they advertise in the box, which sounds good. But like I said before, some pieces in here are either the wrong number, like they don't have enough of certain colors or whatever, and I had to substitute things from what was given to me. Not outside of the set, but just from what was in here. Or something else had to happen. Unfortunately, the Twitch stream, I don't know if it's still available, because I didn't realize that Twitch would actually expire the streams. They would actually go away. Yikes. I did not know that. And I happened to stroll in there one day randomly, and I saw something about, like, this can only be viewed for 3 more days. And I'm like, well, dang it. I'm going to export it, and I'm going to bring it to YouTube. Why didn't I do it on YouTube in the first place? I don't know. This I'm going to start off with some L's and M's, and I dropped it. Some L's and M's and eyeballs. A whole bunch of stickers. A company in the Scanbox Denmark group. Denmark. Wait, like Denmark? Denmark? Yeah, it's basically knockoff Lego. So they had an interesting... I don't know everything about it. And that's the next thing. That's the next step after Bizarre Lego, is learning about all the other brands. All the other building systems. There's a Sans. I guess this is where the new party went. I was surprised anyone from that party even wanted to come here. I figured the party already happened several times today, and I was late to all of them. Bionicle Forever, welcome to the stream. Okay, you guys are going to get a treat out of this. It's a giant Mario poster. I have no idea if I'm going to actually hang this thing up or where. Giant Mario poster. All right, I need to tilt this back up again to get some sense of scale with it. Giant Mario poster. I think it's about 2 feet by 3 feet. Something close to that, because I have like 1 or 2 Lego posters like this, about this size. That's big. That's a big poster. Denmark is what Denmark calls their country within their country in Danish. Interesting. From what little research I've done so far about Bigas, I thought they were Swedish. So we have a building block company based in Denmark with colorful bricks that acquires a Super Mario license and makes a board game set using it. It is officially licensed from Nintendo from 1992. I'm going to bring up the box because that is the best way I can show that, where it says international licensed product. It's not the traditional like gold seal. It's a white seal with like a globe and has a Nintendo logo on it. So that's real. Is it in there? Jeez Louise, I don't even know if it's on the stream. Right there, right by Mario's ear. Officially licensed Nintendo product. And then here's the back of it. I'll show you more of the game board and explaining building bricks, large wheel sets, small wheel sets, figures, figure holders, stickers, assembly instructions, rules, dice. All the contents in multiple languages. Because apparently this was an international product. Yeah. Contains small pieces, not recommended for children under 3 years. 3 to 12 recommended. And it is a 2-player board game. You could probably try for it being a 3-player. If you really wanted to. A knockoff Lego company based in Denmark is the ultimate troll. Love it. It really is. And the other, as I mentioned before, the other interesting thing about this is that they have licenses that Lego had much later on. Almost 20 years later on. Because they had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They had Jurassic Park. They had the Flintstones. That's actually in the rest of this paperwork in here. So other than just holding up this poster, I wanted to address one thing that I thought was hilarious on the poster itself. Not just the fact that, hey, we have Mario and Luigi, a couple Koopas that are racing around this buildable tower. I need to bring up this artwork. Now, Kevin, I know you're a man of art, and I know you're a man of fan art, and I know that you would not draw Mario like this. Or Luigi, for that matter. Like that. Just soak it in. Just soak it in on those giant Italian cheeks. That sounds wrong. There's also a Bowser and Beethoven? Mozart? Ludwig. What's the name? I can't remember all the Bowser kids' names. I know it's based on the composer. It is official Nintendo merch. Official Nintendo merch. Copyright 1992, Nintendo, all rights reserved. There you go. All right. I'm going to flip this around. The fascinating thing about this particular set, I've not experimented with any other ones yet, but the fascinating thing about this set, even though it encourages that you could build the game worlds and has instructions to do so, there's instructions on this poster to build every other set in the series, and most of the parts are here. I mean, there's still a couple things here and there that they don't include, some cardboard cutouts that you would have to find separately or just buy that set for it, but a lot of the parts are so basic that you can build a bunch of these models. at different times. That's partially why they gave you the sticker sheet. Those eyeballs can actually be used for a buildable Mario right there. Right there. Big yellow rectangle. I love that the font of the M is not even trying to match the line art. It's just a text box on top of the artwork. It really is. Even both the M and the L. What do you mean Luigi's always has a weird chipmunk face? And his mustache is incredibly pointy. I love how much we're getting the question. Is it Lego? Is it knockoff Mario? Is this real? As far as I know, what's convincing me? This is real. This is Nintendo. This is official. I feel like you're hinting at something. Oh, okay. Wait, I missed something. Gotta love 90s Mario art. Yeah. What do I Lego was Nintendo's third pick for a building toy? Good question. I mean, for right now, obviously, it's basically the Rolls Royce of building toys. Has been for, I'm going to say, a long time. Although I am surprised that they didn't do... I don't know what happened with Kinects. Because they had it running for a good while. Almost through an entire console generation. A couple of years. At least half. Well, because of Galador. I don't know. Zany Bricks, welcome to the stream. Okay, so, and there's also Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles advertisement on there because we need to fill out the page. And all the sets are shown up top. There's 8 different sets. Okay. Is this a Q&A? I mentioned something about everything you need to know as a title. And then I said, hey, if you have any questions, let me know. And everyone asked the same question. Is it really from Nintendo? Is it bootleg Mario? I like you guys. You're good. All right. What else we got? We got a dice. Now, I've actually played this game before. I've play tested it. And it's really interesting because on a single game board, it has basically 4 different environments that you have to run, that you have to go through. It's not exactly clear on the spacing on them because everything is studded. There's no tiles. There's no slopes. Everything here is basic bricks. 2x2s, 2x3s, 2x4s, 1x2s, and then a whole bunch of 2x2s that have these little slots in between them facing upright where you would stick in the characters. And then the base plate, there's a few of these 4x8 plates. That's part of the castle that I have to build. Or rebuild, I should say. Yeah, and then the game board itself, which is just like 2 32 or 16 by 32 base plates. Fully plated. Not the traditional what I call waffle base plates. Because I read that somewhere. Yeah. Ingrid? Yeah. So this dice itself is not the one that you use for rolling for your turn. I mean, for your movement. You got a traditional one here, 6-sided dice. And that can roll however many moves you go. Sometimes you do have to actually strategize the roll. Because there's a whole water area that every other step will lead you into the water. And if you roll too high, you roll onto a piece of ice that lands you in the water. So you have to actually strategize for this. It's not just roll 6 every time or something like that. Wow, I really do have a lot of this to rebuild now. I realize how much it was falling apart on this. Anywho, this dice itself, a wooden dice, mind you. This one being a little more chalky and plasticky. MJ Bricks, it's Luigi! I'm always Luigi. I don't need the hat and the coincidentally matching shirt to do that. So this dice itself, only on 2 sides of it, of the 6, shows Mario's face and a starburst kind of effect on the background of it. This one allows you to use a power-up, and depending on where you are in the board, again, you need to strategize. You may need to use it all the time in order to progress, or, thank you, MJ, or you can just use it as an advantage, but you can still get around without it. Early part of the game is rather easy. It doesn't have to be as strategized for things. It may help, do better, get better, play good, get good. But the second half over here is where it really kicks in. How much did this cost? I don't know the original price of it, even if there was a US release of it. And I'm kind of afraid to say how much it was on eBay. There's not a lot of them around for both Bigas or NNB as early building block Nintendo products go. And because of that, they're rather expensive. And getting this one sealed was rather expensive. You aren't going to see this one just too good. But you will see him on Beyond the Brick. So, E-Logger, how's it going? Welcome. We got an Oofer. Oofer was taken. Not the Oofer. Welcome to the stream. All right. Next part I have is this cutout board. I actually was able to fit them back in here after playing it. But yeah, these are all the characters that you need for the entire board game. You do have enough blocks so you could use on both Mario and Luigi simultaneously for both, versions of their power-ups. No, I already had chicken. Thanks. All right, have a good night, Ingrid. The old Lego-like Nintendo box. This isn't that old. NMB is the old Lego ones that you're talking about that Nintendo made itself. Bigas was licensing, or Nintendo was licensing for Bigas, which was a knockoff, basically. Second, first, same as the first. Anywho, that's all the characters that you have. I believe the manual actually calls Peach Princess Toadstool. It's not at the air. It's 1992, and yet they still call her that. Oh no! No, they didn't even call her that. I just read through it again. No, I'm okay. I already ate dinner before this. But all for you. The more the merrier. Princess Mushroom. Not Toadstool. This one. With the dress and the crown and the shocked expression. Princess Mushroom. Luigi is still called Luigi. Mario is still called Mario. We've got Bowser. He's called King Koopa. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I grew up with that. I didn't really grow up with it, but I definitely knew material while that would have been around that when I was growing up. I don't know. I know they're both. They do talk about the Koopalings. I'm trying to see if they actually mention them by name. Okay, so we do have a Basher, referring to this guy right here. This one is Basher. And I don't remember the Koopalings' names as well as the other ones. You tell me if they sound bad. There's none in there. I don't see one in there either. Where'd the other ones go? Did they not name them? They just don't name anybody else. They just named that one guy Basher. I don't even think the Koopa gets a name. Or, like, mentioning the name in here. No. No, it's not there. It also helps the fact that a lot of the proper nouns are in big caps. Uppercase letters, Big caps. I don't know where that came from. It just calls everybody else the Koopalings. Pretty sure this one's called Wanda, and I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure that's better than just calling her a Koopaling without anything specific. Granted, a whole bunch of these are actually used in the same area, or very close to the same area, But still, you named this one specifically Basher. Penfold, how you doing? So when you gotta build the set so we can see what it looks like. Cool set. Sorry about that. Sorry about the wait. I wanted to go through a lot of the paper material first, because I thought that was interesting. Ask like a Lord Joey, where'd you find this at? eBay. Yeah, as Eli said, it's eBay. Yeah, all right. So luckily, more than half of this is already built. When I put it back in the box, I did have to tear apart a few things, and as you might have heard in the beginning of the stream, some parts actually started falling off on their own as I moved the box around. This is big enough that it fits on this slide of a box. It's cool. Now, there is actually a game board. Give me a moment to move that aside. But this is actually... Oop. Stay. There we go. There's actually a game board that the plates sit on top of. And I'm not going to have the most optimized camera angle for this, am I? Let's tilt it down. And there we have it. I got to build a whole bunch of this again. But as far as the board, you probably don't even need this, to be honest. It helps these two stay together because they are separate plates. But beyond that, yeah, it doesn't really attach itself by much. But beyond that, you don't need this for really anything except just to decorate it. It's another part of it. You would have one character over here, Luigi. You have one character over here as Mario for all of those game pieces when you start out. And speaking of which, let's get them together. Oh, I also forgot to mention, this is one of my favorite parts about it. So Mario and Luigi have two different kinds of power-ups using a Tanuki suit and a frog suit. Look carefully at Mario and Luigi on the frog suit. Are you looking enough? Do you see it? Uh-huh. They are exactly the same. There is no difference. Like Mario and Luigi and the other parts of it, you can tell them facially look different. And I'm not even counting the poster. Between these two, they look different. They look fine. They look accurate. A little off model, but fine enough for its time. These two, literally copy and paste. It's crazy. I think it's crazy. So let's get... Technically, there's actually 4 of them. Because you have Mario, you have Luigi, you have the frog suits, and you have them rescuing the princess. So you don't actually move the other piece. I don't know why. Because she's there. And they're also double printed. Like backside of them, front side of them. Works either way. And that's literally all you do. You just stuff them in place. Excuse me. Which I'm kind of hoping doesn't bend them. I kind of worry about if these are going to get creased. I don't know what happened to everybody else. Did the party leave? Am I looking at an empty room of balloons? The train rolled in and then it stepped right out. All the from the building stream. If I said how much it costs me, would that help? It probably won't help anyone. They'd be like, "Oh, what an investment! What an investment!" These actually do line up with each other pretty well in there. No, yeah, I understand that about the current Mario sets. I'm sure they will develop more over time, as some people have pointed out already on those videos that went up today. There is actually a copyright date of 2018. So they've been, first of all, they've already talked about they've been in development for a while on them. At second, this is agreed. This was the partnership. But I'm sure there's more that's going to come down the line, the pipeline, the warp pipeline, if you may. That'll probably be better than the first batch. I'm not going to lie, it's a weird move. But it happened. And we're just going to have to go with that for now. And hopefully everything turns out well afterward. I do have one of the Mario sets on order. I got it. I ordered it around the same time as I got the Haunted House, but I did not get it in the mail because it was only a pre-order. So I guess technically it's the first time I've done a pre-order on a Lego item that wasn't a video game. Huh. Okay. Let's see. I gotta flip this around. I forgot I'm holding the board upside down for your viewing. Still here, it'd be cool to get the instructions and piece count on brick set. Oh yeah, I could do that. I actually have been working on this on Lego Digital Designer or Studio or something like that, recreating the board game, and I will try to get that out to you so that you know how it goes. If you have a way of contact, just shoot me an email, maniacforbricks@gmail.com or something like that. Any of the social media that there's a messaging system, I will do my best to help you out. It is very colorful. These are all, except for one color, these are all Lego pieces, like as far as colors go. The only one I'd say is a little finicky is this. It's not the same as the lime green. So just right off what's in front of me, here's the lime green from Lego. And then here's the lime green that they have in Vegas. A little bit different. Just enough that you can tell them apart. It's not like the ghoulish green that they had in some of the Hidden Side sets. That would be much brighter. This is a bit darker. The gray is actually almost a light bluish gray. And this is 1992. Because here's the biggest piece. Here's the Lego piece. This is old gray. This is practically light bluish gray. Tell them apart. Oh, wait. It's right here. All right, so here's the camera. Here's a tile in light bluish gray from Lego. Same brick from Beakus. Side by side, they are accurate. Lego was not the first to do that light bluish gray then. All right. Gotta figure out where else everything went. It is kind of difficult trying to put this back together. Oh, I forgot to mention they also had another element in here. I don't know if Lego actually ever made this one. It's an L-shaped brick, basically 4x4, shape of an L on his forehead. I couldn't help it. Anywho, I probably could, but I chose not to. So I'm just trying to see where everything else went based on the instructions. I didn't really make that part clear, did they? I feel like I do it to turn this around, but I don't want to annoy you guys any further. I'm already annoying. So, let's see. We need some of the brown pieces in here are surprisingly not reddish brown. They're like an old brown from Lego. So if you wanted to be very color accurate, then you'd have to get the old brown and light bluish gray. And lime green is the closest thing you'll have. Even though it's not completely accurate. But yeah, you probably could recreate this in Lego. And that L-shaped piece, even if it's not made in Lego, it's basic bricks. You can supplement that easily. I'd say with any of the game pieces, it might be difficult because of the grooves. But by that point, you probably would use minifigures anyways, so that might not be a concern. I do remember some of these being extra pieces. I'm not sure how many of them are. If we got those together. Yeah, it's actually really hard for me to do upside down. And you guys know, recently I've been trying to build stuff upside down in the instructions, and it doesn't work. It doesn't turn out. I probably should build all the other parts, though. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that giant brick wall. Brick wall on top of bricks to make the castle battlements. Kind of weird. So we need a gray one for Princess Mushroom. I would like to do a scan of the entire thing, like putting these all back in here and scanning it both sides. So you could theoretically add them in your own area. I think that would be cool. You literally don't have to move these characters around, even though on the box it shows them as a separate piece. Like they're all minifigures or something. It really does feel like they cheaped out on this, but I don't know the history of Begus on how well their manufacturing was, or the variety of parts at this time, if they would have actually done something better, or if they just skimped out because of the Nintendo. I feel like they should put more effort because of the Nintendo license, because it's introducing it to a range of people, whether or not 20 years later, that have never known their brand before. That looks similar to Mega Bloks colors, maybe made in the same factory. And yes, Lego did make L-shaped bricks in that in yellow, blue, red, and white back in the 60s. Oh, cool. Thank you. I was not aware of that. So I don't know if that's really worth the effort to go through to find those specifically. I know nowadays they make plates like that in a couple colors, but I don't know if yellow was one of them. Shoot. Yeah, this is really hard to do. The good thing about this is I don't have to turn around the entire game board. All I have to turn around are the plates themselves. So, if you give me a moment, pick up the whole thing. And like I said, this can be built on basically a 32 by 32 base plate. In fact, I'm going to test that. I've got a Lego 32 by 32 base plate right here. Nope. Okay, I was wrong. So it's shorter by how much? If I slide this right next to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's a 24 by 24 range. Well, Lego has made 24 by something base plates before. So that shouldn't be too hard. That means each of these is 24 by 12. The way this splits in the middle. 2 plates. Alright then. Now we know that. Yeah, there was a party of 7 in here at one point, and now a party of 4. I don't know what happened. What did I say? I got my ugly mug out of the picture. Did I not talk about who said what on what news video, or who put it out first, or who got more success and views? Because I saw that in a previous stream, and tens of people watched that. As far as the quality of the plastic goes, here's a 2x2 brick. They have no printing, embedding, anything on top of them, on the studs or in between. Tycho does it in between. Lego has it per stud. They're about the same dimensions, though. I'm actually going to do this again. Do it again, do it again, do it again. And I'm actually going to add a Tycho brick in here because I got a whole bunch. They're all compatible. The one in the middle is Lego. The one closest to us, right here, is Bigas. And then the one furthest from us is Tycho. Same connection system. And with the Lego one, they've changed it over time to have more in between them, refining the binding brick aspect of it, seeing things like that. Wait, hold on. Let me hold that the right way. I was holding them backwards. There we go. So middle again is Lego. Where my thumb is, that's Tycho. My index finger is Bigas. So on the inside of them, you can see a bit of difference in how they connect to each other. I don't have a Mega Block of the same kind or many kinds right now in front of me, so I don't know how that's changed. But yeah, I would probably recreate this in Lego, so that way I can keep everything with this game itself in the box. Maybe bring it for special occasions to either a gaming convention or a Lego convention or Brick Fair. I don't know if there's even conventions I could use it at recently, and then I could. Should have got a Mario minifigure with Dimensions or something. I feel like that wouldn't have worked. Lego Dimensions is a multi-platform game created by WB Games. It was available, therefore, on not just Nintendo Wii U, but also Xbox 360, Xbox One, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation 4. That would be close to impossible to put a Nintendo character specifically in a non-Nintendo game. Hello? Oh, okay. All right. That one there. There. Oh, there it is. I heard that door slam before when I was on the call, but or class or whatever. But I don't know if it was coming from the other side.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. You did a lot today, so I don't blame you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I get soup something.
Yeah. Okay, doke. Mm-hmm. Good idea. What? All right,
11, right? 11.
got it. 11. I'll try to wrap up before that. We didn't have to worry about it. Anyways, back to our programming. On the argument about Sonic being in Dimensions and that could work, the difference is Sonic is a Sega character. Sega does not make console games. I mean, they don't make consoles. They are just a developer. Midway does not make consoles. They are a developer. So it's not as tricky to get them on a multi-platform thing. Even other Sega games, whether or not involving Sonic, have been multi-platform. So that's where the difference lies. I mean, yes, it would definitely be great to have more video game Lego characters in Lego Dimensions as a big crossover opportunity to do so, but it's tricky on which ones. That's like saying they should have had a Lego Crash Bandicoot character, which honestly, I could have seen happen. They have the right kind of molds for Lego parts, even at that time. They could have made that. And I'd actually try to make something like that if I take a moment in Photoshop. That would be fun. Going off of that, the point of it is they would not be able to because it's a Sony thing, or at least mostly tied in with Sony. It probably wouldn't have worked because that was before Crash was on other platforms like the Xbox One or the Switch, outside of like the handhelds. I don't know. Probably wouldn't have worked. Bionicle Forever, how's it going? Just added a little intermission there for a little bit, but I'm still rebuilding the game board, and then I'll show you how everything works. Cy O'Connor, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. And if you guys have any questions about this board game or about this building system of Begus, let me know. I don't have all the answers, but I am willing to look up other ones if I can't find them. I'm also probably just going to talk about the Lego Mario sets as far as my own thoughts sometime later. I haven't looked at every single one of them from not only the reviews, but also from the new ones that got revealed, the exclusives for stores. I know there's the store exclusive Boo one. I really like that. I think it's going to look great. I do agree with Kevin for a bit. It does look weird that it's not rounded. There's very few rounded elements in these sets. And you could make the argument, oh, it's part of the aesthetic, it's part of the style they're going for, a lot of them cube-like figures. That being said, Bowser Jr. is not all cubed. He's not all squared out. His snot and his shell, a bunch of the turtles, Koopas and things like that have shells, are rounded. Even Yoshi. Yoshi's very rounded. He's a very round character. So to make him blocky, make him squarish, not the best thing. Anywho, I am taking my time of trying to find out these instructions because there's actually a lot to this. It's kind of hard to see how everything goes together. They changed the colors. This is one of these pieces, they just straight up change the color, and then they change it back in the next step. So it's not the most consistent pair of instruction manuals. And as I mentioned before, some of the pieces in here may not be 100% accurate to what they show in the instructions. So there are extra pieces, and I just have to work with them as best as I can. I've changed my mind on the Lego Mario sets again. I'm going to get them now. I have already pre-ordered the Mario starter set. I'm still debating on any of the costumes. I feel like if I get any of them, I might get one or two, at least initially. I don't plan on getting every single one of them right out the gate at $10 a piece, and I don't know yet what all of their features are, if they're really unique enough that's really worth it. I'd rather just try it out a little at a time. Oh, wait. Oh, this goes here. That makes sense. This one goes here. Why is there a gap? What did I do wrong? Oh, I see. Okay. But yeah, it's only like a couple pieces that I've noticed that were off from the instructions. So that shouldn't be too bad. And I apologize, Sai. I'm behind on a bunch of your videos, and I really need to catch up on them. The problem that I have is that a bunch of the videos are about news, and I'm still debating if I should do news videos on my own. So to put my thoughts in the comments, I feel like would be redundant or repetitive, whichever comes first. And that's not just for you, but I mean for a lot of channels, or even Instagram. You know, people post the news and they say, "What do you think about this?" and then give their opinion. But then everybody does that, and they almost never write the same thing on each other's comments, from what I've noticed. And I can't say that for everybody, but again, the ones I follow and the ones I observe, I feel like they made them a straight up square because it's much easier and can just say it's aesthetic. It can be. I don't know if it's much easier. I get the impression over time that Lego is actually trying to stray away from a lot of block structure, a lot of things being square. So maybe they're doing it for the aesthetic because it's Lego. Traditionally, people think of Lego as being square, and you could write this off as Mario in like a Toyland. If you're counting Mario references in here, I've pointed out and been probably ignored by most when they first announced about it. I've pointed out that there is a cube-like version of Mario that's been in at least one or two games. And beyond that, maybe one or, maybe you could count in any of the toy worlds that Mario has been through. One of them about NNB Blocks, which is the predecessor for this license, this partnership. It's the Nintendo version of building block toys before the Lego Mario partnership, long before that. I've done video about it. I believe other people have mentioned it in passing on video. There are at least two Nintendo games that have actually referenced about that building system, and one of them is Mario based, where he is in a giant toy robot of himself. It's Super Mario Land. I don't remember if it was the first one, second, third. All I know is it's one of them. Putting these pieces on, these little battlements, is actually a bit weird. They're not cut to the right size. They are exactly the same length, maybe even a little bit lengthier than a 2x4. Yeah, they're almost they're like 4.5 studs, it looks like. So trying to fit these in between these other bricks is actually difficult because they want to budge out. It does not hold them in place well. Wanda, one of the Koopalings, is actually on the other side of this castle. I don't know what her role is because just sitting there. It doesn't do anything. And also kind of hard to put her in place with other studs around it that don't have that indent. That's a compliment. Wait. I'm loving your news videos. I look forward to them now. They're unique like Doc Samson. They're unique like Doc Samson. Doesn't that just sound like I'm like Doc Samson? I understand that's a compliment. I just don't know if I would do all of them the same way I did the last one. The last one wasn't really a news video. It was, I mean, yeah, it's presented like it's news, but it's not like a brand new product or something like that. It's kind of a, here's a discovery on an existing, on a recent thing, and I don't think people have asked me if I'm going to continue that, like that same style, and I'm like, I don't know if I could pull that off another time. I don't think that works. Oh, wait. I think this is where... Yes. So there is supposed to be a brown 2x3 brick, and then I have the only one I have left is a 2x2 brick. Assuming I built this correctly. I'm pretty sure I did. Then we've got this little staircase. There's supposed to be a spare 2x2 without, just a standard one without the slots in them. And there's a whole bunch of them with the slots. I do remember that. I think we've got everything together for this board game now. It doesn't tell you per step what's actually needed for pieces. And they give you a couple extra ones. I think the minifigs will be popular. It looks like Lego could have found another market gaming. It's possible. I mean, everybody wants the minifigures. When for everyone that I've known who was who was, hoping someday that Lego would create Mario sets, official Mario sets. I remember that I don't think any of them said, I'd like it like a board game. They probably thought, I'd like it like with minifigures. I'd still like to try to build not only the actual models, but the even more models that I put up on Instagram. And I should try to do a video on them on YouTube as well. At least the digital ones, and then trying to create those later in real bricks and bring them. That would be a good mock display, honestly. Because I built Mario sets, or a mock set. I don't know if that's the right term. I built Lego Mario scenes on the hypothetical, if I was designing a set with Mario in minifigure form, this is my interpretation. It has some cues that are borrowed from Minecraft, but I think it fits very well with it. And most of the sets have ability to fold out, so you would be able to play with them as a 2D plane and a 3D plane, and connect those together just like in Minecraft with 2x4s and things like that. Doc's news is unique, and so is yours, is what I meant. Okay, gotcha. No problem. I am not the kind of person who would copy Doc Samson's style. I don't see that personally. All right. So now we've got it all built. I've got 3 more Koopalings to put in. Koopas, I should say. This one's just a Koopa. He just sits in the middle of that stack. And I don't know if it really matters which of these go here. Just the fact that they're here. All right. Who's ready for the board game? I hope it's not a long game. There we go. Now we've got it closer. Get to see everything nice and in frame. I hopefully didn't smudge the camera when moving the laptop. The story. Mario and Luigi have always made sure that Toadstool Land is a peaceful place. Toadstool Land instead of Mushroom Kingdom? Oh, no. Okay. Well, first of all, let me just put a thing down here for when the gameplay actually begins. Even after this point. Mario and Luigi have always made sure that Toadstool Land is a peaceful place. But now King Koopa, the baddest of all baddies, is making trouble again. I am reading this straight from the manual. He has kidnapped the beautiful Princess Mushroom. Remember, everybody, Princess Mushroom, King Koopa. King Koopa is fine. Princess Mushroom, that got me. Gotta go, man, 3 a.m. in Dublin. All right, no problem. So I left the timestamp down there, so you can come back to this later in the AM, in those lulls in between when I don't have videos on this channel. You can watch this later and get to see what the game is like. Hopefully you come back. I will catch up on your video sometime later. Have a good night, man. He has kidnapped the beautiful Princess Mushroom and is holding her prisoner in his heavily guarded castle. Mario and Luigi are determined to rescue her, but they must be careful. On the way, King Koopa has set several cunning traps, and some of his children, the Koopalings, are lying in wait. We must hope and pray that fortune favors our heroes. The winner is the player who reaches Princess Mushroom first and rescues her. The key thing about this game is that you're moving from this area, this is basically one world, to this world, and then to the castle, and as almost a fifth, back down to the front. There's a staircase here that you still have to go through. It's not you get to the castle, you win. No, you still gotta move. Anyways, have fun. And remember, go give King Koopa a good thrashing. Before you start, first you have to build the game with the biggest blocks. See the attached instructions. They're attached because they're the front and back of the book. The game is played by 2 people. That makes sense, but we're going to play with 1 person because I'm the only one physically here. And welcome back, Zany. The game is played by 2 people. Each player gets 4 different figures with the same color base. Okay, we're going to skip over that part. You take turns at throwing the small dice, moving forward the number of squares shown on the dice. If you land on the same square as your opponent must move back to the first empty square. The thing that's kind of difficult about this game board, the way they set this up, everything is studs open. There's no tiles. There's no jumper plates. So you have to go based off of the 2x2s for your space movements. And that might be tricky in a couple areas. They somewhat complement that, like in here, in the staircases themselves, but not much beyond that. Angry Dragon 114, welcome to the stream. All right, let's skip over a few things. We'll catch up on that a little bit. The red staircase. So I'm going to pick Mario. I usually pick Luigi. I know I'm wearing a Luigi hat, but I'm going to pick Mario. Now let's pick Luigi. There we go. The red staircase. Here, you have to pass 2 obstacles. 1 and 2. Be careful not to fall into the chasm between the steps, and make sure you do not land on the ice floe, ICEFLOE, the white square, because then you'll have to go back to start. If you land on the top step of the red staircase, just in front of the chasm, you must throw the super dice. That's what they refer this giant dice. Oofer, welcome back. I didn't realize you left before. Sorry. If a super comes up, you can change into Raccoon Mario Luigi. Then you can take a gigantic leap directly onto the first tower. Right there. The first tower of Bashing Castle, just after the white ice floe. Oh, okay. Over here. Sorry. I was looking the wrong way. So that's this. If your opponent is landing there, he or she must go back to the last square before the ice floe. Right there. If you do not throw a super, you must continue throwing the small dice. To get into the next world, Bashing Castle, you must land exactly on the first yellow tower. So yeah, if you're here, you have to roll a 1. And you can't keep going after that. It's weird. Like I said, you do have to be precise about some of these steps. If you throw a higher number than there are squares left to the tower, you'll have to wait until your next turn and try again. There you go. So we'll start that off, and I'm just going to briefly run through that, just naturally rolling the dice. We've got a 4. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 would land me in here, but I got a 3. So 1, 2, 3. I've got a 6. That's too many. So I have to roll again. I've got a 1. Got a 1 there. It sounds a little complicated. It's a board game. 3 is too many. 5 is too many. I have to literally roll a 2. There it is. I rolled a 2. So 1, 2. I think. Or unless it is 3. Like, landing on the ice floe is the... I guess it would be because I counted it here. Like I said, it doesn't entirely make sense. I'm going to move the Marios out of the way so you can see that better. Bashing Castle. Here you have to pass Basher. He's a nasty little brute. Every time you land on a pale green square, any of these lime green ones I was talking about, they call it pale green, Basher knocks you out, and you have to return to the nearest yellow tower and await your next turn. So basically, they're counting the spaces here. Like if I rolled a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Every time you are standing on a yellow tower, you must first try your luck with the super dice. If you throw a super, you change your figure into the raccoon, not Tanuki, raccoon Mario Luigi, and leap directly to the next yellow tower. Like that. If your opponent is already standing there, he or she must go back to the previous tower. If you do not get a super, you must use a small dice instead and follow the squares down between the towers. If you land on one of the pale green squares, Basher will knock you out, and you must return to the nearest yellow tower and wait until it is your turn again. So right now I've rolled a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on a yellow, so that means I can roll the super dice. And I rolled for it. So now I get to fly over there. All right. So now I got to roll again. It doesn't say if I need to roll a certain number to get into the beach land or waterland. That's what they refer to this as. They call it waterland. Which I think is the funniest name because it's water and it's land. I'm just going to roll for a 3. Right there. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if the Tanuki counts from here. I feel like I'd have to roll for it again. Which is kind of almost a waste of using the supers because if you're just using it in that one space move, wouldn't that just be moving that one character? I'm a little confused by this as well. Waterland. The red beach before you get to Waterland is free. Here, there is room for both players, so you cannot be pushed back. When you reach the beach, place your figure on one of the 3 squares, which is what we have here. I'm in the middle square. First, you must throw the super dice. If a super comes up, you replace your figure with the Frogman Mario Luigi figure. Now you can swim around to the coast to the gray beach. The number you throw each time tells you how many swimming strokes you may take, how many squares you may move forward. When you are safely on the gray beach, replace your Frogman Mario Luigi figure with your Super Mario Luigi figure. Okay, so we're going to start off here. Are you allowed to move backward as well as forward, like in a platform game? I don't know if there's a reason you would need to move backward. It doesn't say anything so far in the rules here. I'm reading them verbatim about moving backward on any of these particular areas. So I guess if you wanted to, in your own play of the game, you probably could, like, willingly move backward a space if you wanted to. Because, like, say you're in the castle area, if you're here and you want to move back and you move to 1, that could get you here faster. Or that's one way it could get you here. But if you're here and you just roll forward to anything that's more than 3, this would be 3, this would be 4, this would be 5, this would be 6. I don't know if you're... Yeah, I don't really know if that's necessary. Even if you added the rule in. How much more would that... I'm not sure how much more that would do. Let's see now. It basically says that you would move back a space if you have 2 characters on top of each other. But it's usually 1 space or the next tower or something like that. Like I said here. So that might not be necessary. Alright, so we're going to start off by throwing a super. Ugh. And I did roll for super. So let's get our Frogman Mario Luigi. Because that's a Mario mold. That's a Mario model or artwork. They literally use the same thing between the 2 of them. No change. No shame. So now I have to roll on the other dice. How many strokes? And I got 6. I don't know if they're counting from here or from here, because you could put them on any of these spaces. So I guess it's like once you get here, I could basically move them up there. So I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's technically getting you there the fastest way. Or I guess the other way I would do it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same thing. Like I said, unlike the Lego board games that they had in the 2010s or so, it's not very clear on where the spaces all are. And, you know, this is a product that came before it, sure, but there's nothing that they do different between the pieces except for colors just to say their effect. If you do not manage to throw a super, you must throw the small dice and try to jump from island to island, red squares in the sea. If you end up in the sea in between the islands, you must jump back to the nearest empty island. So say that Mario was on this one. Actually, no. Say that Mario was on this one, and you're jumping from here, but you got a 1. That work? I'm still trying to wrap my head around that, actually. Like, if you were here... What if you rolled it to, like, 1, 2, 3, then you have to go back to here, because you can't go there. Can't move him. I guess? Stud Studious. Oh, snap, you used the red shell. Nicely done. Welcome to the stream. Alright. Beware of the ice floe, FLOE, just to remind you. Just before you reach the gray beach. If you land on it, you will fall into the water and have to move right back to the red beach at the start of Waterland. So that's the red ice floe they're talking about. This is here, but I don't know if it's supposed to be moving from there to there. Because theoretically, like I said before, you could just bypass that. It doesn't... It's like super specific and then not specific at the same time. The Gray Mountain. Now things are getting tough. It's a staircase. On the path up the mountain, the worst two of King Koopa's little brutes are lying in hiding. Here, you must use the small dice. So I'm going to use a 1. And I hop up here. There's not enough room to put them actually next to each other because of the cutouts. Every time you land on a square beside one of the Koopalings, they jump out at you. Try your luck with the super dice. Bam. Oh, I probably have to change him back, don't I? There we go. He's Luigi again. My snake just fraps on my favorite Goonie shirt. Oh, okay. That stinks. All right. Try your luck with the super dice. If you throw a super, you replace your figure with the Raccoon Mario Luigi figure and save your life, and give the Koopalings a good swipe with your raccoon tail. If you do not throw a super, the Koopalings will knock you on the head with their magic wand and send you back to the first square on the gray beach. Right there. And worse still, in capital letters. If that is occupied, you must go right back to the first red empty island. You have to start this all over. If Mario was here and I don't roll a super, then I go all the way back here. So that's something. All right, let's see what we roll. Okay. Well, at least we're only playing one player, so I just have to move back here. I'm just doing the hypothetical of playing with 2-player. How old is this game? 1992. So we have a 4. Who I rolled. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just skip past the first one. Not bad. You theoretically could start from the bottom of the beach and skip past both of them in the same turn, which would be great. So now I'm on the same step. Let's roll again. And blah. Back again. So let's roll again. 1, 2, 3. Roll again. That's a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have no idea if that counts at this point. Even if it doesn't, might as well. I'm gonna count it here. I forgot to actually put Bowser up here. I mean, King Koopa and Princess Mushroom. I'm never gonna get tired of that. At the top of the Great Mountain, there is room for both players. Here, you cannot be pushed back by your opponent. So you're playing 2-player. Hey! You have fought well, and now you are ready to do battle with the super baddie King Koopa, King Koopa's castle. To enter King Koopa's castle, you must be Raccoon Mario Luigi. If you are not, you must use the super dice and throw a super. You have 1 try per turn. And lucky for us, bing, bam, bizzity. And Luigi falls. And there he is. I was 14 when it came out. That's why I don't remember it, probably. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I didn't really know much about it until recently. Like a little bit before the Lego Mario sets even released. Or, when the news spread about it. Okay. When you have thrown a super and changed to Raccoon Mario Luigi, you can enter the castle by throwing a 1 or a super. So you have 2 chances per turn. When you succeed, you jump into the castle and move into the corner just opposite the top of the Grey Mountain. Here? It's actually unclear in the instructions. They don't actually show where any of these characters go. And on the box, they don't put Peach anywhere. On the front of the box, at least, she's not anywhere in the set. On the back of the box, everything is torn apart, so it doesn't show it there either. And on the side of the board game, around the edges of the base plate, it shows... What does it show? Well, it shows her on top of one of these, but it doesn't make clear which one. Hard to see from here. It's one of these 2, I know that much. And it's at a different angle than what you're seeing here. This is probably around the time of Super Nintendo. Yeah, it definitely seems like that because of the artwork on there. That's about Super Mario 2, 3. Maybe World? I'm not too familiar game-wise between them. All right, so we have two chances. We're going to roll for either a super, we didn't get it, or a 1, we didn't get it. Since I'm the only player, I can keep rolling again. None, and a 1. So let's move up here. Again, I'm not entirely clear on the opposite end of it. I thought it was supposed to be over here, but they put Princess Peach on one of these. I just knocked her off the castle. Let's try that. The odd thing is that you should be able to fit both Mario and Luigi on here, so I don't know where she's supposed to go. When you succeed, you jump into the castle and move to the corner just opposite the top of the Gray Mountain. This is the top of the Gray Mountain. Just opposite? I don't know. And you get an extra turn. Now you must rescue Princess Mushroom. You have 2 chances again. If you throw either a 1 or a super, you replace your Raccoon Mario Luigi figure with Super Mario Luigi with Princess Bing figure, and move to the corner of the castle closest to the pale green staircase. Right there. That's that one. If you did not succeed, you must wait in the corner until your next turn. Go sit in the corner, Luigi. But I was 22, and I don't remember it either, but I was working at a farm in the middle of the Lincolnshire in sticks, so I don't remember much of anything else, and my Lego was still in a box in my mom's attic. That's fair. Super Mario 2 was my favorite. Strange to most people, I know, but back then I was able to pick a different figure and have different features. I liked it. I personally grew up with Super Mario 1 and 2. I didn't have 3 or World. I didn't own a Super Nintendo as a kid. I owned it only a handful of years ago. And Super Mario 3, I don't even know if I still have. I don't even know if I ever picked that up. I might have it on the Super Mario All-Stars and Super Mario World cartridge. But I definitely enjoyed Super Mario 2. I never beat either one of those. Super Mario Brothers 1 or 2, unfortunately. Hopefully someday I will. I grew up with all the Mario games. World was my favorite. I've heard a lot of people like World. I see a lot of Mario Maker levels, Super Mario Maker 1 and 2 levels, based around Mario World. That's pretty good. All right, so we're rolling for either a 1 or a super. We didn't get anything. We got a 3. All right, let's try again. Didn't get anything. Nope. That hit the side of the board. Nope. 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 It was a 2 again. Nope. Nope. I mean, at least it doesn't send you back down the mountain. I'll give it that. Hey, we got a super. Okay. And a boop. So you don't actually have to move the princess figure with you. They just have another figure with the artwork on it. Might I say, they also don't use all of that artwork on the box. And the box looks really... I don't know if it's because of the age of it, but the printing on it looks very pale. All of the... except for like 1 or 2 main images is really pale for Mario and Luigi. Bit different than what they have on the board game on the back of the box too. Okay then. Alrighty. Alright, so moving on from there. If you throw a 1 or a super, you get another turn. So you can literally do all of this in the same turn if you got lucky enough from here to there. Oh yeah, I have to move him over there. I forgot about that. I grew up with all the games as well, and I remember the major hype around the third one, Raccoon Mario. Most people say 3 on average is their favorite. Oh, okay. I like World as well as Paper. I like them all, but 2 was trippy and different. Yeah, I haven't played any of the Paper Mario games, but I've heard a lot of good things about them. I think I have the Super Nintendo Classic, so I don't know if it has Legend of the Seven Stars, which is an acclaimed RPG Mario game between the Mario and Luigi, the Paper Mario, that that's the one most people go towards, or Paper Mario 1, Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door also stand out from people. I remember getting the 64 when it came out. I didn't get it. I don't think I got it when it came out. I got it like a year or 2 afterward for Christmas. And I got the kind that had the atomic purple and gray controllers in the same box with the system. I remember one of the first games that I got with the Nintendo 64 was Rugrats in Paris the movie, because my brother and I were into Rugrats at that time. Short while later, into the N64, we also got Legend of Zelda, the Majora's Mask, as well as the strategy guide, and it was very good. I didn't play Ocarina of Time until much later after that. I do remember early on, shortly after playing with the N64, also getting the chance to see. My cousin had the Nintendo GameCube, so it released, 2001, 2000, I forget which. Anywho, that blew us away. And the first thing we saw on it was Sonic Adventure 2 Battle and City Escape. That is like one of the most defining gaming moments for me ever. To see that big of an upgrade, and in all ways, polygons, speed of how fast it's processing and everything like that, the music, all these terms that I probably wouldn't have realized or recognized as a kid, but now looking back and thinking like how drastic a difference it was from the 64 to the GameCube, it was good. I enjoyed it. There's actually an interesting story about why number 2 is so different. Yes. So Super Mario 2 was originally Doki Doki Panic, and it was the original Super Mario 2, which here is known as the Lost Levels, was sent over for playtesting in America. The person who received it, that was in charge of that, played through it, and he deemed it too difficult for the American audience. So they decided, okay, let's try to rework another game to lower difficulty, to have more variety with it. And Doki Doki Panic was, basically modded to become Super Mario 2 or Super Mario USA. There's a really good video about that. A great video, channel, great gaming channel in general. The Gaming Historian covers that all very well. I'm just giving the footnotes, or Spark Notes, I mean. They did not rush it, but Mario 2 was different because the Japan version was too hard. I didn't bother with any consoles after the 80s when I had a Speccy. I'm not familiar with a Speccy. I'll have to look that up. Then when I met my future wife in 2011, she had a Nintendo DS Lite that I loved, so I bought one. Professor Layton's one of my favorites. I've heard a lot of good things about Professor Layton games. I only recently got a 3DS again. I did have a 3DS XL years ago, but I got it at a very impulse time, and I did not fully utilize it. I would continually get games for it, but not spend enough time to play through them, especially when I, was an adult. I was not, I was on the go, but I was the one driving, I found the Game Boy Advance SP really resonated with me as a handheld, and subsequently other systems like that would, if I was always in the back seat, if I was a passenger. But with the Nintendo DS, if I was home, I'm not playing it. I'd play something else. I would bring it with me a few times on vacation, like to the beach, to the shore. And after seeing the sunrise, I remember playing Pokemon Alpha Sapphire for like 3 hours. But there were these random spurts of time when I'd be interested in playing that system, and then I basically traded it in for other games as well as all those games. But I've now reclaimed a bunch of that stuff. I never owned one original or like, brand new in box. It was always a used pre-owned copy of a DS. Specky means Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Oh, okay. I have heard of that. I don't have personal experience with it, but I know roughly what you're talking about. Yes, gaming historian. 64 version of Mario and Zelda was mind-blowing. I could easily imagine that. Let's see. We're almost through the game, but I did want to also catch up on the chat. I was one of 5 children and head to brothers. So every Christmas, we each got a different system and we'll just swap. I recently found my brother's TurboGrafx and Turbo Express Bonk's Adventure. Nice. Nicely done. In my house, I was the second of 3. I have an older brother, almost 2 years older. I think technically it's a little over 2 years. I was born in January of 95. He was born in April of 93. So close to 2 years older than me. And then my sister, that's younger than me, was born 6 years later in the same month. She was born in late January, just like I was, 6 years later. That one's pretty cool. So as far as gaming in our house, for a long time, my brother and I would share. He had most of the gaming systems in his room. We had 2 separate rooms, that are just across the hallway in our first house. I had my own room with a bunch of toys and a bunch of games, but they were mostly board games kind of thing, not video games. He had a TV with video games already hooked up. They were video games from the NES to the N64. When we moved, after that point is when we got the GameCube. I don't remember having it in our first house. And then, not only did we went from 2 separate bedrooms with our own stuff and decoration to 1 single bedroom for many years. And we each had our own side of the room, but we shared the consoles, not just in that room itself, but also in a basement. The basement in our first house was mostly dominated by my dad's work. Not necessarily an office. It was just, he had a huge Lionel train layout. And honestly, that's something I'd like to see again. I'd love to see a photo from that house, from that assembly. Because I only have a photo in my mind, and I don't want that thing to go away. I want a tangible photo. Because that was awesome, and I would love to have something like that in Lego form. A Lego train setup, if you may. One of the things I definitely appreciated about my dad. We also had in the basement, I think, a bunch of other stuff, but nothing gaming related. But in the second house, we had Lego, we had a lot of board games, we had a bunch of other toys, and we also had a section for video games. It kept swapping around in different rooms, or parts of the room, if it was in the center, if it was on the far side, if it was on the near side, about where the games would go. My dad's Lionel collection, I don't think any of the sets themselves were reduced or lost, but he just kind of like consolidated the space. It was not wide enough for the table that he had done before, or the shelves, or things like that. But he still had something. And very rarely ran that thing. Most of the time it was, don't touch it, but you can play with everything else in the room. It was kind of put in place, and it was set up and everything, but it never did anything. Let's see now. I had two brothers. Call my mother. Call my mother. Bought is a lot of systems. Gotcha. Wait, I skipped too far ahead on the thing. Man, Siri kills my voice to text. My New York accent is not that bad. No, I believe you. I've heard it, and yeah, voice to text. Like I said, you have to talk like Siri in order to get it down. I mean, Joey, you know, compared to people in Long Island, I barely have an accent. Yeah, definitely. I do not recognize it that drastically. They had to rush the other game into Super Mario because the popularity came on so fast from the first game. Yep. The original game is really hard to beat as well. That's true. There's a TV show. I don't know if it's The Toys That Made Us, but they tell the story about why it was rushed. It was too difficult as well. I have to still watch The Toys That Made Us. I'll have to get back on Netflix. I don't use it that often. Who knows? But they didn't expect the popularity in the US to take off like that. Imagine no Mario here. That would be nuts. I have seen old news reports about the original Mario, and I think Mario 2 or 3, one of those, selling out at stores. And people complaining that there is not enough stock, and people lining up outside, parents for gifts for their kids. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Because that isn't... I remember the video that I watched it in, they compared it to Amiibo. They're like, wow, I've totally never heard of Nintendo having a shortage on any, suddenly popular product before or something like that. Somewhat. I don't know exactly what they said, but it had that same vibe. I used to have to commute into New York City a ton, so I had a DS as well, which was very cool on the train. I understand that. But yeah, basically after this point, Pen, I'm sorry I got on a big tangent from this, but after this point, you would have to make specific rolls down here. Has a whole bunch of white blocks for the staircase, which would send you back, and you just have to roll just the right amount on each of these steps in order to get back to the start. And that's how you beat the game, basically. I don't know if I want to read the rest of this, but Switch Lite is pretty cool, but I should have gotten the full version. I agree. I have compared and contrasted the Switch and the Switch Lite several times with people, and it's really, if you're on a budget, go for the Lite, but you are getting a better experience. You're getting a better value, definitely, if you buy the full Switch because of the portability, the customization with it. Multiplayer is a bit easier. I don't know exactly how it works on the Lite. I keep trying to research that, but I don't find a clear answer. So it's easier on the Switch because it's like you could just pop off the Joy-Cons, or you just attach a USB controller. And I have two USB controllers, and I have a Switch, which basically could be two Joy-Cons. So if I need to play 4-player, it's there. It's available. Would I get more than that for like 8-player Smash? I don't know. If I brought the Switch with me somewhere, chances are somebody else might already have a Switch as well. I've done 6-player Smash before. Across 2 Switches, they're able to connect with each other, and you could split the screen so that you'd have 3 using one system, 3 using another. And that way it's not too tiny a screen for everybody. One of my brothers would have to fight over video games like crazy. Back then, you couldn't save game progress. Yeah, I agree. That is something I would love to do on its own video, talking about how my brother and I shared, for lack of a better term, video games. And no harm, no foul by nowadays. But it's just fun reminiscing. As are clouding over. Oh, okay. That Mario Building Blocks game is really cool. Thanks for sharing. I wonder if they made a Donkey Kong version, because it would work well. So, I know they already left, and I will hopefully get in touch with Penn so that I can recreate this in in Lego form and show how many of all the blocks that you need and fix that issue in there. But of the Super Mario sets, of the biggest Mario sets that they made, they never had anything Donkey Kong related that I'm aware of. They have all of them shown here. They have them shown on other various packaging. And I'm looking at this up close. All the characters are either Koopalings, Mario, Luigi, or Princess Toadstool, or Peach, or Princess Mushroom. There's nothing in here indicated about Yoshi, about Donkey Kong. They've played it very, very, very light on the characterization for this particular brand. A Donkey Kong game would be great. I'm sure that there has been a Donkey Kong board game at some point. They've made Pac-Man a board game. So, yeah, why not? Oh, whoops. It skipped again. Me and Joey, when you were born, all the cool stuff was just starting to come out. Yeah, 95. Oh, man, Joey. Yeah, there you go. Damn voices is killing me. I'm on a bicycle. I don't know if the bicycle's making it more difficult. That seems like it would have happened either way. There's a clip storage for tech, which included Nintendo games. Oh, chip shortage. That's right. Late 90s, early 2000s, when I was starting to work for places like Rockstar Games in New York City, a lot of those companies were just starting out, and they would hire a graphic designer as a character development people. Now you can get a degree in game design. The industry has changed so much. I remember growing up as a kid, I'd read a couple ads here and there in Nintendo Power that would advertise about Full Sail University and other colleges that supported game design as a major. And I always thought that was a cool idea, but I know nothing about computers. I don't know the actual bits of programming that would be necessary to run that. I have developed not actually my own game, but like I've drawn out what I would want a game to be like, but it's not that special. It's not that unique. It's basically Plock. Actually, yeah. I realize this in retrospect. I never played Plock on the Super Nintendo or the Genesis when I was younger. I knew of it after the fact, several years ago. I have no idea when exactly, but I looked at that game and I'm like, wow, this is pretty much what I would have come up with. Each level in a Sonic-like, thematic setting, each one as a platformer, like at its time, would have been its own thing. And the main gimmick of the character is that he can separate his limbs. There's like Rayman. There's no arms attaching between them. There's a bit more range with each of them. Plock was just the same, just about. He had that ability as well. So yeah, the game that I came up with, I think it was called X-Man, kind of based off of Mega Man, but not entirely because I only knew one Mega Man game growing up. I knew the character was important, but I only ever owned Mega Man 3 as a kid, and I never beat it. X-Man, and then there are lots of other characters that were based on letters. Like he was literally in the shape of an X. His body, his hands were above his head. If I can dig up all those notes, that might be a fun video. I don't know. I got a lot of videos I got to do. I got to work on. Back in the day, Toys R Us would have the games behind glass with the paper tags. Yep, I remember that. There's only a handful of games I can remember buying day one or next to day one at Toys R Us. And they actually called it the R Zone. You saw it as part of the stickers on the tags of the cases or on the shelves of the products, or they had a sign for it. like as you're walking in there's like a gateway, for the security, but also it says right above it R Zone or something. Around the holidays, people go crazy over Nintendo games. They became very hard to get. An adult were fighting over them like Tickle Me Elbow. Yeah, that's kind of the point of Jingle All the Way, isn't it? Holiday shopping for kids gone mad and fighting over other parents for the same gift. Sorry, I distracted you from the game with the Mario chat. Yeah, no problem. Hey, this is totally fine by me. I bought the Switch Lite for the Zelda remake, as well as the new Lego Star Wars Saga. I am so looking forward to that. I haven't done a pre-order for it yet, and I would love to, but I don't know if there's going to be a pre-order bonus. That's the only thing that's holding me back, is if there is a store that will do a pre-order bonus, like GameStop usually does. But I haven't seen a Lego game in a while that's done anything major, or like Polybags figures. They're typical. They're expected, but would they do it again for Star Wars? The last one that they did, the Lego Star Wars game, was The Force Awakens, and in that one, I think it was if you ordered on a specific version, like a PlayStation version of the game, PS4 might have had a figure included with it. Or either that or it included a certain mode. I forget which one exactly. Which I still have my Virtual Boy. That would be cool. The Virtual Boy I've only experimented with. I've only played with in a GameStop. Not GameStop. In a gaming store. It was not GameStop. And it was an interesting experience. I think I even got footage of it. Not recorded from the console itself. More like I stuck a camera in front of the lens to try to see the game through there and watch and follow from the camera footage to play it. It was, I don't know. I'm amateur. What can I say? Amateur for 8 years. 8 years July. It's coming up soon. If you want a serious challenge, play Legends of the Crystal Castle on NES. Very, very hard. I'm under the impression that a lot of NES games that I own are a challenge. I have not heard of that one. I have not beaten Castlevania, which that title reminds me of. I haven't beaten Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1. I technically have beaten 2, but as the arcade, not the NES port. Which kind of bums me out. Because I'd really like to beat that one. I love that game. But it is very hard. And to be fair, I did play the arcade one at a gaming convention with a free arcade, so I didn't even need to chuck quarters into it. All I had to do was just keep spamming the extra life button, or the start button, to get extra lives. I can't remember how many I had, but it was fun because it was like I was going to play on my own, and then other people just joined in. I was playing with a dude for like almost the entire time. It was like, all right, we're good. We never met before. We just chatted for that, but it was a good, enriching experience. I enjoyed it. As someone who's an introvert, that was a win. I see that as an absolute win. Crystal Castle is like Ghosts and Goblins, very similar to Mega Man style, but you could not save. Yeah, it sounds like a nightmare. You played for hours and then handed it off to your brother to take over, and you would swap again. Game Genie came out, and you could not, and then you could save finally. Gotcha. The deluxe version for Xbox One and PS4, that game came with a thin polybag. There we go. All right, I'm gonna try to wrap this up before 11, like I said. So I'm just gonna read the rest of the rules, or skip a little bit. Oh yeah, you have to roll a specific way to get from here to here. It's not a hop. Now you must escape the castle as quickly as you can. Try first with the super dice. If you get a super, you may run out of the castle and place yourself on the first square on the pale green staircase. If you do not get a super, you must throw a 1, 3, or a 5. Why? Because if you throw a 2, you'll fall into the chasm between the castle and the pale green staircase. If you throw a 4, you'll land on the ice floe and slide over the edge. Oh, right there. There we go. The same will happen if you throw a 6, and one of the Koopalings is waiting for you below the castle. That's literally all that Wanda is here for, and she's not even on the right side of the castle in the instructions. Pale green staircase, you have now almost succeeded in rescuing the princess. All you have to do is take her down safely to the gray square at the bottom. Okay, let's start off. I rolled a super. No problemo. All you have to do is take her down safely to the gray square at the bottom of the stairs. Use the small dice and move forward the number of squares shown. Beware of the ice flows. If you land on one of them, you will slide over the edge and go back to the top of the staircase right here. If your opponent lands on your square, you will have to move back to the top square on the green staircase. If that is where you're standing, you must move right back to the corner of the castle. So it's not like there's any time where you fail this and you have to do this part again. The most brutal part is right in here. Because if you fail here, you go back there. Or so. But if somebody's still there, you go all the way back here. Okay, so I rolled a 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is the ice, so we go back up here. I rolled a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rolled a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I win. So yeah, I know that took a while. I dragged that out for way too long. But there we have it. At what? 120 something, I think I started this one. Started the gameplay. And then we had a long conversation in between. I'm trying to scroll back to the chat. Gonna pull back up because I am hard to. I'm literally moving my laptop screen to move the camera. 123 is when we began the gameplay, and almost an hour later, mostly because we had a long tangent. That's fine. Maniac for tangents. But yeah, this is almost an hour long. It probably, even without counting that conversation, if you counted both people playing, it could be. Especially when you have more things of moving each other around or backing into each other or whatever the case may be. There you go. And like I said, extra goodies, extra things outside of here, extra bricks that were on the side, 1 or 2 that needs to be replaced, and a whole bag of wheels just to build this into whatever you like, or some of the other sets. I don't know right now what other sets it would actually build through. I believe 1 or 2 of them were like 1-to-1. You didn't have to worry about other wings or like cutouts or whatever. Give me a moment. Okay, yeah, most of these actually do need other pieces. The plates that they show in here are white plates, and this board game has gray plates, like I showed before, dark blue, the light bluish gray. You can build the Mario, I think. Maybe not the tan. Yeah, there's no tan in here, and they don't have red 1x1s. I don't see any black pieces. But these are simple enough that I will probably put up some kind of LDD instruction or design or something like that. I don't know how easy it's going to be to actually scan this whole thing, especially to get every little page of instructions. So check on my Twitter. That's probably the best place I'll do that. I don't know why my stomach is growling. There's a Super Mario car. His face on a car. There's a lot of car ones actually in here for the instructions. I just need to address this because that's just, I didn't realize this before. Wouldn't you want to drive a car with your face on it? Right. I think my stomach is ready for dessert. Oh, did I forget to read the ending? Nope. Okay, that was literally the ending. I have to scroll back down and see the rest of the chat. Almost. I remember that. I remember that. Back in the day, seriously, those game development companies were hiring graphic designers to do everything, even programming sometimes. Yeah, I can believe that. Very light staffing, not like the staffing we have nowadays. Yeah, it's a big poster. It's like 2 foot by 3 foot. Let's see if I can bring the whole poster itself out again. Me for scale. It's pretty big. A lot of instructions for the different Mario sets. They had 8 different sets. And then on the front of it, having some artwork with very chipmunk-cheeked Mario and Luigi. I feel like I showed that once before. I'm definitely taking pictures of some of this stuff up close, and I'll try to post some of it to my Instagram story as well, because those, I never get tired of those. But like I said, I'll also try to upload some of the instructions on Twitter, possibly on Instagram. I still don't know if I want to hang up that poster. I'd actually love to make a copy of it because I'm afraid of ripping that poster. This was not an easy purchase. So I don't know if you're counting this from a YouTuber perspective on investment. I don't know if I ever make an investment that pays itself or doubles itself. But as long as I get it out to you guys and you get some new experience out of this, I think that's worth it. Whether or not ad revenue, super chat, any of that kind of stuff, Patreon support, any of it, as long as you guys enjoyed it, that's what matters to me. I was in college though when the web design bubble was about to pop. Yeah, you can see that. Okay, so we're all caught up. It's 11 o'clock. I'm calling it there. Sorry about that one intermission. It's not an easy way to do this. This isn't an isolated bubble of a scenery or scenery. Isolated bubble of a studio. It's put in a frame. That's true. I might be able to fit that in a frame. I have 2 frames roughly that size or bigger. I am hoping to use one of those frames for a Benny poster. And still have to find out how I'm going to hang it up there without damaging the walls too greatly, or making it too easy for it to fall back down again, because I didn't like that before. I had a frame that I bought that was literally just the corners. Not good. Was not made to hold itself together. I probably used it wrong, but it wasn't very clear either. So, all right, I'm going to go recreate this in Lego Digital Designer and post my findings on social media. More Lego Super Mario stuff eventually. More of this Lego, biggest Super Mario stuff. I don't know. I don't know if the other ones are also readily, like if they're available online anyways from eBay, or if they're worth me picking up more of them. I'm kind of getting the impression already just from the game board set. But at least gives you some rough idea of what they're going for, or what's been enhanced, I should say, with the Lego Super Mario sets, with something that also is buildable and having a board game element to it. I'm also going to try to watch some of the other people who have reviewed it. I've only watched Bricks O'Brien on Beyond the Brick, and I watched his unboxing. So there we have it. So thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have yourselves a wonderful night. And I'll talk to you later. I don't know when later is going to be, but I am also working on... I've been working on it since Monday, yesterday. And I'm still going to pull through with it pretty soon. So check back soon. Subscribe, bell, all that fun stuff. I'm working on a video about the wooden duck, the Lego wooden duck. Didn't expect Mario to drop like this, so I had to kind of rush the stream in, otherwise I would have got that video done. Have a good night, everybody.